Hi everybody, it's Joy and it is Friday and I had a couple of technical issues. Facebook was being a little finicky with me today and my equipment. So now we're going to get started. We're going to be mixing some older things and some newer things. So just stay tuned. So let's see if I can find, this is the beautiful gallery 6x6 paper. This is the paper that we will be using today. I'm trying to find, here we go. Here's the set of 12 different ones. So you have all these beautiful scenes that you have on the A side, and then on the B side you have some fabulous um, patterns and things. So let's turn this over. So the B side have some really fun things that you can do with the B side, and that's what we're going to be using today, but we're going to be mixing it with some of the new bundles. So that's going to be lots of fun today. Let's go ahead and pull out the one we're using, if I can find it in my stash. Yes, here we go. That's the one we're going to be using. We're going to be mixing it with some of the crisp cantaloupe and the barely blush. Excuse me. But we're going to be using the Lazy Daisy 3D embossing folder, which is an online exclusive that's been around for a little while. And then we're going to use the Boutique Blossoms bundle and the Scalloped Blooms bundle. So those are, let me look to see where those are, Scalloped Blooms. I love that we have the index in the back. Okay, 46. Okay, that's just showing it like that. But it is part of a suite. Let's see if we can find the suite that it is part of. Yes, it's part of the Bloom Boutique suite. And we're going to be using some of the old paper that's from the last catalog, but we're going to be using the two new bundles. So again, this is in the May to August catalog that we've got going right now. So we have this great scalloped die, or set of dies, and you have these beautiful scallops. And some of them give you a little bit of a like a dotted edge, and some are just a regular scalloped edge. So you have these, you have some smaller ones to do like flowers with some flower centers, and then you have some tags and things that you can use. So I'll be using this one here, and the next to the largest one here. And we're also going to be, we're going to cut that out, and then we're going to use that with our embossing folder. So let's go ahead and let's get our machine out. We got our big machine here. So we're just going to get that out. And we are going to get our cutting sandwich, which is the number 1, the number 2, and then 2 of the number 3s. So that is our cutting sandwich. And we're going to set this up. And I'm just going to cut this out of this piece of paper here. Try to save as much of the paper as I can. So we're going to put a little piece of washi tape there. And we're just going to cut this out. Move that over just a little bit. I'm going to cut that out. And then we're going to emboss it. So you want to die cut first and then emboss, otherwise you're going to smush down some of that embossing, and then you've got all this lovely extra sides that you can use for something else. So let's go ahead and let's bring in our embossing folder, which is the Lazy Daisy. It is one of my new favorites right now. And then this is going to go into our sandwich. And we just need the number 1 and then the number 4, which is our embossing plate. And then we need our machine back. And we're going to run that through really fast. And then we have a piece here that we're going to be using on our card. So let's put that aside, and then let's bring in our card base. And our card base is half of an 8.5 by 11, and it is that makes it to be 4 1/4 by 11, and then half of 8.5 by 11 is the 5.5-inch mark right there. So that's where our score line is. But then we're going to do something fun. We're going to split the front. So I'm just going to show you. This one's already split, but I am going to show you how I would do that on my my trimmer. So I did it 1 inch. Just did it at 1 inch. So I just put my cardstock there at the 1 inch mark. Get a little piece of washi tape to hold that down, and then you take and you run your cutter down to the score line. So you only go down to the 5.5-inch score line. So that gives us our little split front. And then you're also going to need a piece of basic white for the inside layer. So that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's our standard inside layer. Then I have just a little strip of the, so this is crisp cantaloupe. This is barely blush. And I do want to cut that down to 4 inches to match our inside layer. And I think I want to emboss that one as well. So I could have embossed this all at the same time, but I wasn't really thinking about that until I remembered. Okay, so this, I'm just going to put this in right about here. And again, number 1, make sure that the fold is at the top where that's going into the machine, and then our number 4. And we're going to give that just a nice little embossing detail for the inside. So I will go back later and I will comment and reply and react to all of your comments, because as you know, I love comments. So please don't hesitate to give me 1 or 2 or 3. So there we have that. We have our piece here. You also need a scrap. This is Peaceful Pine. So we got our colors. We have crisp cantaloupe. We have barely blush, and we have Peaceful Pine for some leaves that we're going to do. We also need a scrap piece for some flowers. We have our die cut barely blush piece. And then we have a piece of basic white that is 1 5/8 inches by 2¼ inches. So that just goes right in there. So we just have a little of that peeking out there. And then this is going to be for some, this is to die cut some leaves. This is to stamp and die cut some flowers. So let's show you what flowers we're going to be using. So the flowers are part of the Boutique Blossoms stamp set. They are this flower here. So you have this one, and then the detail, and then you have the color in part of that. So this is from the Boutique Blossoms, where our dies were from the Scalloped blooms, and we're using a happy birthday from the Scalloped blooms. All right. So let's grab, we're going to just pull some colors out of here. So we've got our Calypso Coral. We're just mixing some old and new here. We've got our Calypso Coral, and we just stamp that. I find it easier to do the outline piece first, and then come in with the lighter color of the petal pink for the solid image that is going to be that's going to color our flower in. Now you do have to match up the blooms. It's pretty easy though. There we have it. So we have just a little slight coloring in there. And then for our happy birthday, we have pecan pie, which goes really well with this. So we've got our little happy birthday with our pecan pie onto this basic white piece. Hold it there for a minute, let the ink absorb into the paper. There we have our little happy birthday piece. We would stamp the flowers a couple more times so that we have 3 flowers. Now I have some to save a little time. I have some that I've already die cut. Got them in my little package here. And I have some leaves that I've already die cut. So I have 3 flowers and 3 leaves that I have already die cut. So we are going to take a little time right now and start doing a little bit of assembly. So what you want to do with this piece here is you want to, maybe this would be better, some multi-purpose liquid glue. You just want to put a little glue right on the edges here. You don't want to put any on this part here, just the outer edges there. And then you want to match this up right along the edge there. And then what happens is you have a little pocket, okay? So then you have that little pocket there. Now we're going to decorate this one. So since we have our glue out here, we're just going to see how much of it we need. We're going to go right about there. So you don't want it all over the whole piece yet. But you get this right. Okay. So we're just kind of going to where these it comes off about there. And we're sort of centering this. So now we're going to take some scissors and we are going to trim this part off right along the edge of our card. Oh, I forgot I had that. Well, we might use some of this on our card, and then some down here, or maybe over here, down there. I don't know. I don't know that I like this piece right now, so I'm just going to leave this one off. I do like this for the inside here. So we're going to attach this. Is a little bit long. We have just a tiny little bit to trim here. All right. Oh, and I forgot. Well, well, well. This has to be trimmed down. Okay. Completely forgot about that. Okay, so let's measure this. This is what happens when you think about planning this and then it, okay, 3 1/8. Okay, we have our paper trimmer here, we can fix that. So 3 1/8 right there. And now this should work. Yes, okay. If I would have attached this before I glued that little split edge, it would have worked. So now we have a piece that is 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to put that right up against there. So that we have this little part here. Like I said, this is just a little part where you could, like, a pocket where you can slip in like a gift card. I don't think I have any gift cards right here on my desk. A little note or a little gift card can slide in there. Now we need to attach our happy birthday. And you know how I love my dimensionals. So we are going to put that up on a dimension. And grab a take your pick tool. Attach these two pieces together. This one's going to go on here, about like this, so it doesn't get glued the whole way. It this much does not need any adhesive. So we have our happy birthday. Now we're going to work on putting our flowers on. So Let's see, do I have some minis? I do, but I think the big ones will work. Yeah, it'll work. Oh, but it's going to show. Okay, let's cut off part of that. There we go. And then I think I want some minis. I think that'll be better for this. This way. Okay, got those two on. Now we need a couple of leaves. Stick a couple of leaves in. So just a little dot right there. Chuck this leaf in. Yes, that works. And then we need another one. I don't think we need that third leaf. But this one needs to go tuck in here like this. So again, just a little dot right at the base. And maybe a dimensional? Maybe a dimensional. Maybe double dimensional. Because we have some extra height there. Alright, so there we have that. Now all we need is just some gems. So we have some new gems, the 2026 to 2028 in color dots. And again, those colors are Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Hydrangea Hue, Peaceful Pine. I don't want to get that gold color. I want to make sure I do that right. What is the gold color? It is Golden Glow. So we have the Barely Blush, Golden Glow, Crisp Cantaloupe, Hydrangea Hue, and Peaceful Pine. Those are our new in colors. And let's see, what do I want? Maybe one right there. I am using the Golden Glow. And we'll see if I like the placement on these. Here we have our Golden Glow. That kind of goes in with, it's kind of a warm color. It kind of goes in with our pecan pie and our cantaloupe and our coral. So petal pink, calypso coral, pecan pie. Those were our ink colors that we used. And then we have the crisp cantaloupe, the barely blush, the peaceful pine for our leaves. So there we have it. So you have a nice little thing, a little place that you can stick a note or a gift card. So just slip right in there. And this is our split card front fun fold. Today for a card a day in May is Fun Fold Friday. So here's our little simple fun fold that we've done for today. I hope you like it. Please do leave me your comments. I always look at them and I reply and react to them. And so until next week, we will sign off for today's Friday live mini class. But if you are part of the Global Inspiration Stamp team, in about 25 minutes, I will be on doing another presentation in that group with some brand new product. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.